What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. Marv. That guy in Arizona is going to be a freaking phenom. He's going to be insane. It was the perfect situation for him to go to. Rebuilding team, not a lot of wide receiver depth, has a good quarterback in Kyler Murray. There's a lot of good things to expect from Marvin Harrison Jr. in the long run and as a rookie. As a rookie, I think he has probably the second best odds, maybe third at worst, to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's probably between him, Caleb, and Jaden. Those are probably the three guys that have the highest odds. But I think he probably will have the best wide receiver rookie season ever. Do you think he's going to pass what Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase did as rookies? There's a lot of good reasons to, and the first one is we have to start with his talent. He has all the talent in the world. The guy was in Ohio State playing on a team with Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, dudes like that, and everybody knew that he was the biggest dog there. That's insane when you look at Garrett Wilson, who's legit a top 10 talent at receiver, and Chris Olave, who's had nothing but a couple really damn good seasons in the NFL. Now you're going to have Marv coming in, and he was the best one of the bunch. Granted, that was in college, but he's also touted as like the best wide receiver prospect ever. Ever. When you're looking at the guys that came before him, and it's ever. It's not one of, it's the best. That's what he's touted as. And when you watch him play and you see the routes and the hands and the tough catches ability and the run after catch, all that good stuff, you're like, yeah, no, this makes a lot of sense. And then you look at it like, oh yeah, his dad was one of the best players at the position for a lot of years. A lot of years. And Marv is probably going to be better than that. But let's start with the situation, right? He's going to be the wide receiver one, no questions asked. It's plain and simple. The only guy he's really going to have to fight for targets, if at all, is Trey McBride at tight end. But they're going to be in separate spots on the field. Trey's going to be a really solid second option, I think, for receivers in this. But Marv is head and shoulders above everybody. So he's going to walk in and he's going to get 10 to 15 targets before anybody else. He's going to have 3 or 4 targets before somebody else has one. That's going to be the nature of what we're going to see from him. And it makes a lot of sense because he's going to be in an offense that's probably going to be playing from behind a lot because let's just keep it simple about the Cardinals. They're very early on in their rebuild and the defense isn't good. So you're going to be playing from behind a lot, which is going to lead to a lot of targets, a lot of catches, a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. He's going to be awesome as a rook. When you just look at it from that standpoint to where he really isn't going to have to fight for target share and the team is going to have to be on, the offense is going to have to be on the field for them to have a chance. That's just how it's going to work. And in the games where they don't have a chance, they're going to be playing from behind, so he's still going to rack up numbers. He's probably still going to destroy other teams' cornerback ones. If you look at the division, there is some good cornerback ones. Obviously, there's Devin Witherspoon in Seattle, and then there's Charvarius Ward in San Fran, who are both, I think Witherspoon's going to be one of the best corners in the league for a very long time, and Ward is one of the top, in his prime corners that we have right now. So he's going to go against those guys. But I still think he's going to have a lot of success because you can put him anywhere. He can run every route. You can line him up in the slot, and he's probably the most dangerous guy that you're going to put there. He's tall. He's fast. Runs every route, like I already said. There's nowhere you put him in. It's like, oh, I don't really like that spot. You put him anywhere on the field, and he's open. It's how I would look at it. You look at the wide receiver 2, it's probably Michael Wilson. After that, it's Greg Dortch and Zay Jones. So they have decent wide receivers behind him, which will open up the field a little bit to where he can't. Sure, teams are going to double team him because they're really going to have no choice. But ultimately, it's not like it's just a bunch of bums behind him. They're okay behind him, a receiver. He just made the most sense. You need a wide receiver 1. You don't need a quarterback. There wasn't really any elite defensive players on the board that you're going to take. You don't need a tight end in Bowers because you have that. And your O-line's a work in progress. You just drafted Paris Johnson last year. Let's get Kyler a toy. It makes sense. And speaking on Kyler, he's got a full offseason under his belt to train with Marv and build that continuity and get the timing down, which does take some time. Last year, Kyler was in rehab. He was waiting on his knee to get healthy, and he was doing all the things he needed to do. and he came back and looked pretty good in the games that he played. But now he's got that full offseason. He's another year removed, and he's going to get Marv to play with as a toy, James Conner as a running back. You're going to have Paris Johnson year 2 at the left tackle spot, and then you have Michael Wilson year 2, I believe. Dortch, Zay Jones. Like, the offense could be all right. The offense should be decent, but I think Marv is going to be like head and shoulders the most important player on their offense outside of Kyler, because the quarterback means the most. But he's going to be able to put up numbers. And this is just my question to you guys. What do you think his stats are by the end of the year? If he plays all 17 or plays the majority of the games, you're looking at somebody that could probably have like 95 catches, 1,600 yards, and 10 TDs, which would be the greatest wide receiver season ever for a rookie. So maybe that's a lot to put on him, but when you're touted as best ever coming out of the draft, you're going to get some high praise. You're going to get some high expectations, and I have the highest of expectations for him because the situation makes sense. They're going to be playing from behind a lot. They don't have a lot of guys competing for target share, and he's awesome. So how else can you look at it? There's no way that, unless injuries and other things play a part, which hopefully that doesn't happen, there's no way he doesn't explode and have a great year. He's probably, of the first 4 picks in the draft, he was probably the safest choice out of them all. And maybe the smartest choice. He went to the perfect situation because the Bears didn't need him. The Commanders needed a quarterback bad. And the Patriots could have drafted him. Would have made some sense. But they also needed a quarterback. Goes to the team that already has a quarterback that has a big contract. Everything logistically makes sense, which puts him in a great situation to succeed. But yeah, I think he's really in that top 2 or 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's going to be him, Caleb, and Jaden are my 3 guesses. I think because I think Jaden's going to be electric and put up numbers. I think Caleb's going to be awesome. And then you have Marv, who was in wide receiver university in Ohio State with other all-pro or Pro Bowl receivers in Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave and highly drafted guys in Jamison Williams and Jackson Smith and Jigba. And he was the guy that everybody said was the best one on the team. That's all I'm saying is that is wicked, and I cannot wait to see him play. Fantasy teams, you should draft him. Absolutely. I know he's going, I think he's going like end of the first round, top of the second round. It makes sense. The dude's going to be a dog from day one. So yeah, if you're going to take my advice, draft Marv in your fantasy drafts. If I get the chances at it, I'm probably going to do it. But, there are going to be teams there are going to be other people in your leagues that are going to want him. This isn't really a fantasy video, but when you look at what I think he's going to do statistically, it makes a lot of sense for fantasy. And yeah, you get a lot of praise and a lot of expectations when you're touted as best ever at your position as a prospect. So I have high expectations. Respectfully, I think he's going to be awesome. But anyway, let me know in the comments how you're feeling about Marvin Harrison Jr. in his upcoming rookie season. Also, main thing, predict the stat line. What do you think he does as a rookie? We're saying all systems go, fully healthy, Kyler's playing. Those are the circumstances I'm going to operate under. And I think he's going to have the best rookie season by a wide receiver ever. And my favorite wide receiver in the entire NFL is Justin Jefferson. And I think he had the best rookie wide receiver season ever, followed by his college teammate in Jamar Chase. And I think Marv is going to be even better than that, which that's insane. Like that, you're talking about potentially an all-time great. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video, but Marv is going to dominate this year. Don't think twice about it. Don't question it. Just accept it. But thanks for watching. I'm done. Peace.